Hi there, I'm Sifu Alex Smith, and the video you're watching is called Basic Self-Defense 1. Okay, so the first self-defense move that we're going to learn to escape from today is the front choke. First I'll demonstrate it and then I'll explain how it works. Someone chokes you. Okay, so how that works is someone's going to choke you, they'll have their hands around your neck. What you want to do is you want to lift your hands nice and high. Bring them up over your head. What that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to have plenty of time coming down on top of those arms. So you want to lift those arms nice and high. You want to do this fairly quickly. Lift them nice and high and come down just above the elbow, above being more towards the shoulder, and you're going to drag down this direction. The reason for that is if you come this way, you're not going to break the hold, they're just going to bend their elbows. So you want to come just above the elbow and kind of in that motion. Also, what's going to help you too is to sink your weight down and shift your weight down as you do this. So the hands come up and break straight down on the hold. Okay, and I'm positioning my hands just like that, hitting with the heel right here. So once again, the choke comes, hands come up, straight down on the arms. Okay, so the next self-defense movement that we're going to learn is a wrist grab. An escape from a wrist grab. So once again, I'm just going to demonstrate how to do it, and then I'll start explaining it. So what the scenario is here is I'm going to turn to walk away, and an attacker is just going to grab my wrist as I'm turning to walk away. Now, the way this works is someone's going to grab your wrist. This is a wrist grab with the opposite hand here. Someone's going to grab your wrist, and you want to start turning. If you just try and bring your hand up and try and make this motion, it's not going to work. It's just going to hit their arm and they can grab nice and tight here. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to start turning this wrist. Okay, and that's going to allow me some movement there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, bring the hand up, turn my body, and push. So once again, I'm going to turn, bring the hand up, turn my body, and push. Once again, turn the hand, bring your other hand up, turn the body, and push. And once again, all together, it looks like this. Okay? And for those of you who have a little bit of experience and you want to add the grab because you know some other kinds of attacks that you can do, that's fine. For those of you who are just looking for self-defense, when you do this wrist grab, I'd recommend when you come up and you break the hold, pushing it away and getting out of the way and just running. The next self-defense that we're going to learn is defense off of a kick to the groin. The first thing that you want to learn how to do is not to stand like this when someone's attacking you. By standing like this, I'm offering the front of my body to my attacker. That allows them to attack whatever they want. By standing to the side like this in an unguarded position, just like you'd see any fighter on TV or anything like that, I'm only exposing my side, giving them very limited reach and targeting areas for what they can actually hit. So that's the first thing, that's the first step to defense against groin or anywhere. So the kick's going to come. All I'm doing is just lifting my leg, okay? And what you'll see is I'm pointing my toes down. That's something that you can do to help prevent from jamming a toe when you do this particular defense. So once again, the kick comes and I'm just lifting my foot here. Okay, now this is a straight in kick. He's coming straight on me. And what I want to do is lift my foot and make sure I'm turning to the side. Make sure I am if I'm facing too far front, that I am turning my body to the side when I do this. So it really is just me lifting my leg. If you're a little bit more experienced of a fighter, or if you just want to try this, you want to add a little bit more to it, what you can do is as you lift, you can actually launch yourself at the person, causing a defensive offensive technique. So once again, defense, just lift. Okay, the next defense that we're going to learn is defense from one of these Painmaker style punches, typically coming from somebody who doesn't have any fighting experience, someone just throwing a wild punch at you. The defense off of this particular strike will depend on the size of your attacker and will also depend on the size of you. So there's going to be a couple different explanations here on how to defend against this. Once again, I'm just going to demonstrate it and then I'm going to explain how it works. So, first one we're going to do is off of an attacker who's much larger than me. So I'm just going to simulate that by bending my knees here a little bit. Once again, this is from a larger opponent. What you want to try and do is you want to try and dodge this one, because from a larger opponent, punching down is going to be really easier for you to dodge it versus trying to block from somebody who has leverage on you. So when the strike comes, if I just try and move to the side first, without moving forward or down, what's going to happen is I'm just going to take it in the top part of my head versus dodging it. So what I want to actually do is, when the strike comes, I want to move forward first and then to the side. Alright, I don't want to reverse that order. So once again, strike's going to come, move forward, then to the side. And then you have any other counterattack you want. What I would actually recommend at this point is when the strike comes and you get behind them, and you're behind them, jump and push them. And then you can get away. That's actually your best option at that point. Or as you're moving, since you're already moving, you can just keep running. Now against an attacker who's relatively the same size as you, what you want to do is the strike's going to come at your head. You're going to have one hand here, one hand here. Above and below the elbow, you have full control of that arm. Okay, so once again, demonstrating this. Above and below the elbow. Once again, above and below the elbow, nice and slow. Strike comes, above and below the elbow. I want to try and move into that too. You want to strike it, you don't want to push it, you want to actually hit that and pull your hand to it. What that also allows me to do is it gets me in position. If another strike comes to the other side, I can attack the exact same way to the other side as well. But I also have full control if I want to attack the body at that point. So that's off an attacker relatively of the same size. I'm not sure why this would happen, but off of an attacker who's smaller than you, unintelligently throwing a strike at somebody who's bigger than them to their head. What you would want to do is somewhat similar, but instead of attacking above and below the elbow, what you want to do is just attack at the wrist here and then move the hand that's above the elbow to the neck instead. That's your best option, or move it somewhere else if they have their hand up. You can just, because you have leverage on them, the best option is offering a counterattack while defending at the exact same time. And once again, that's off of somebody who's smaller than you and you're bigger than them. Okay, the next defense we're going to learn is off of a hair pull. If someone reaches up and grabs and tries to pull your hair. This is typically going to be a defense that that women are going to use. When the person reaches up and grabs your hair, your head's going to come back like this. What you want to do is reach up, put your hand against their hand, and push against it. What that's going to do is it's actually going to stop them from pulling your hair as much. You're going to push against their hand. And then you're going to take those nails of yours and dig them in between the fingers and just push. Okay? That's going to hurt a lot. If they don't release at that point, that's okay. Because at that point, they're going to be thinking about their hand. Then what you can do is knee them in the groin, kick them in the stomach, uppercut them. You have all this exposed to attack whatever you want. But don't forget, you do have nails. So that's what you want to do. You want to push straight into your head, not really any particular direction, but inward. And that'll cause the hand that's grabbing to actually flatten out a little bit more when you push on it. It'll cause it to do that. So once again, hand's going to come up, pull the hair. You're going to reach up behind, flatten that hand a little bit, start digging those claws in, ripping a little bit, getting to think about that hand, and do some sort of counterattack of some sort. You got knees, groin, you can stamp on their foot if you want to be really nice. But you have the whole front of the body there. What sometimes also can happen with the hair pull is sometimes when they reach up and they grab your hair and pull, you kind of get caught off surprise and you get pulled back so quick you kind of can't react too quickly. So what you want to do is you still want to try and reach up, but you're being pulled back. So you want to try and widen that stance so that you actually don't end up being pulled on the ground. It's going to hurt. You're still going to feel the pain from being pulled, but by widening that stance, you're allowing yourself not to be pulled back. So that's what you want to do to avoid being pulled all the way to the ground.